What's up, YouTube? Back with another video, and I don't know if you guys can tell by my voice, but I am just now getting over. I don't even know if I'm just now really getting over the cold. Like, I've been dealing with this cold for almost a week now. Last weekend I went to Complexcon, and while I was there, it was a really good event. I stay out west, so any opportunity to kind of go to California or to go to Vegas or go to places like that, I try and attend them just because it's like it gives me the opportunity to network and do things with other brands working on similar stuff that I would say that I'm working on. With the event, you got free tickets to see Central C. You got free tickets to see Ken Carson and Young Thug. So I went to that concert after. I don't know at what point I picked this code up, but I've been sick, having a fever. Like, it's like one of those annoying like colds or flus. So I don't know, but I did want to get on the channel and drop another video just to kind of make sure like I'm putting out content for you guys and keeping you up to date when it comes to investment portfolio that I'm doing. So if you're new to the channel, I started my brand about a little over a year ago, and this year I decided to open up a business LLC investment account with Fidelity just so I could start diversifying my investments for this business. I thought, you know, I might as well make a series about this, or I don't know if I would call it a series, but make content about this to allow other people who are starting small brands and businesses like ways to diversify other than just reinvesting into inventory. So the last time I think y'all saw this account, it was like at $1,500. I'm gonna come up to the camera right now. Right now we are at we're at $25.51, so $2,551. I just been investing and adding more money into this account as I have more money come in from sales and stuff. And I'm gonna scroll down just to show y'all what has been performing well for me and what stocks that I have. This is not financial advice. These are just some investments that I personally have. So number one, I have AMD that has made me about $54. I recently bought Alibaba stock just because I spend so much money with Alibaba, and the main focus of this account, I really want to show like reinvesting into companies that you effortlessly spend a lot of money with. Especially if they have good balance sheets and good returns over a 5-year time frame. And Alibaba is just been performing pretty well. Cheesecake Factory, Celsius, Meta, which is Facebook, and I spend a lot with Facebook ads. They kind of didn't do that well as expected this quarter, so I'm down $63 with them. And then Shopify has been a stock that has always performed pretty well, and I'm up $152 with them in total. With this account since starting it, I have made about $151, and I've just been, like I said, every single time I got like extra money into the business like banking account, I just transfer it over. If it's $100, if it's $200, and that's just been adding up. And then I also have this set up to automatically deposit money every 2 weeks. It's only $25, but I just take that and I invest into one of the stocks. I kind of want to discuss and talk about like if I were to kind of be just starting to invest and learning about investing, like how I would go about it. When it comes to investing, it really comes down to you understanding like, can that business actually make money, and do they have a good business model? It really comes down to what you personally feel to a certain extent, but you can't just go purely off of that. But it does help to understand like what you are investing in. So for this account in particular, that's why I wanted to simplify it and just keep it to stocks that my business constantly puts money into, just to make it more like easy for, you know, anybody looking inside to understand, but also for me from a perspective, so I'm not overthinking this portfolio. But you don't want to just simply only invest into companies that you think are good. You need to actually see if those companies are making money. and you can look at their earnings reports. You can also go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT or any AI tool, say, hey, can you break down the balance sheet for this company? Just to see, okay, how much money are they generating? How much money are they spending? And if they're not making substantially more than what they're spending, then it might not be a company to invest in. But at the same time, you want to look heavily into their revenues. You want to look heavily into their projected revenues and what analysts expect. But if you want to make it way more simple than that, and you're like, man, I don't even want to kind of do all that, which you should, that's just doing the bare minimum. Like with AI, like I said, nowadays you can have it break down those balance sheets. You can have it explain every single column and why that's good, and if that's above average, if that's normal, if that's below average. You can do all that with these AI tools. But one simple way that I personally like to quickly understand a company, I look at their 5-year chart. So if I were to invest into Shopify, for example, the first thing I would do is type in Shopify stock on Google. And then the chart would automatically pop up. And from that chart, I would click 5-year, and I would just see, okay, how much percentage are they up over a 5-year time frame? And the stocks that perform the best for me are up at least 100% or at least 50% over the past 5 years. But for the most part, the stocks that have performed really, really, really well for me usually are up over 100% over the past 5 years. So, those are just things that I quickly glance at, and then I just dive deeper into the balance sheets and start understanding those stocks from those levels. But another thing you have to understand is what kind of like environment we're currently in right now. And currently this stock market, we're just dealing with a lot. Tariffs seem to kind of be boiling down a little bit. It seems like those aren't going to kick off, and it's always been games with these tariffs in my personal opinion, but those seem like those aren't going to kick off. And then currently the government being shut down, a lot of people not getting paid. We're pushing up on the holiday season, so that's less money to be spent in this economy. Number two, excuse me, man, it's cold. But the next thing is we got SNAP benefits, food stamps, all of that currently not being paid out, and people only, I think, understand that from a surface level. But when you really dig deeper into it, you got companies in grocery stores such as Walmart that rely also on these benefits, and they make a lot of money from people who spend using food stamps and spend using that. So if they're not making as much money, then they might not have the same amount of workload, and then from there it trickles down. If the stores aren't selling as much product as usual, then that means the truck drivers are not as needed because they don't need to bring in as much product as they used to. And I know that industry is also kind of been suffering recently with all these new tariffs and all these new things. So it's just a lot going on in the economy currently, and those are just things to understand. But what I always say is, and what you got to stick by and stand by, is number one, when stocks are down, that usually means they're on sale, so it's a good opportunity to buy. And also, I've been saying this and trying to reiterate and allow people to understand, if you are working for a company, talk to your manager, talk to your HR, and ask, what is the 401k program that you offer? And 9 times out of 10, your company will have a program that will match you dollar for dollar for whatever you put in every single paycheck. So take advantage of that free money, because say the stock market does go down 50%, well, half of the money that you invested wasn't even your money in the first place. So just keep investing while those stocks are on sale, and when the stock market goes back up, you got them so cheap that your portfolio is outperforming others. But yeah, I kind of wanted to get on here and just do a video talking about stocks, even though I'm sick and like dealing with a cold and all that. Like, I'm like, let me go ahead and try and like get on the video and get on the camera. If you got any questions, like, I want to find a video or some sort of like topic to talk about, like as far as stocks. So if you want to ask questions about that, or leave those down below. If you got questions about how to start investing, just little questions that you might have, leave them down below. I'll try and answer them. But as always, this is built by SNY, and thanks for watching. Even if you got through the entire video and you like, man, your voice, you like, get some rest. Like, I'm gonna try. I've been getting rest, but man, this cold, like, it's been kicking my butt, man. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.